Joker, movement is Destiny's skill gap.
Oh, the topics I'll cover just to avoid talking about Halo Infinite's gameplay reveal. I'll probably never do that intro thing again, but I really like the idea of this sort of stinger after a controversial opening statement. If you like that sort of thing, let me know in the comments below, and I'll actually edit that old Comics Explained intro that I borrowed for my Destiny comic videos into something more updated. But enough about that. What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again, once again, and welcome to another episode of Joker Says Something Controversial that actually isn't controversial, but people aren't ready to have that conversation yet. Now, in my last video, Hot Take, Destiny 2 PvP takes no skill to play, let's stop pretending it does, people were quick to point out that, of course Destiny 2 takes skill to play. Duh. This came in two forms. A, there are people better than me, ergo, it must take skill. The old, if I can't do it, it must be hard fallacy. Which is kinda cute when people then try to point out that I choose to play the game in easy mode with shoulder charge and shotguns, meaning that there is an optimal, no-skilled way to excel at the game. Kind of proving my point, and in my humble opinion, while you can certainly go out of your way to make the game hard on yourself, one, why would you do that? Two, sure, that does display a level of competency, but we're not talking about edge cases where somebody goes in and uses blue scout rifles all day. We're talking about the average player. I figured that was apparent, but apparently not. The other argument you see, of course, is that Destiny's skill comes from its movement, not its gunplay in a first-person shooter. Which, wouldn't that then mean shoulder charge is one of the more skilled ways to play, as it's all about movement and the approach and how if you fuck up you eat a shotgun or an AR? I mean, which is it? Is it the most skilled thing or the least skilled thing? At some point, some aspiring Destiny pro player deluded themselves into thinking that Destiny's skill gap lies in its movement, not its gunplay. A weird fucking... It's a first fucking person oh my... Fuck, okay. Anyways, so some aspiring Destiny pro player deluded themselves into thinking that Destiny's skill comes from its movement, not its gunplay. This might have been somewhat true in Destiny 1, where you had Titan Skating, which was a button combination that you had to get right in order to execute. In Destiny 2, Titan Skating was removed because you could macro it, kind of invalidating the whole skill part of this particular skill-based movement. But I actually want to challenge this mentality. The Destiny movement requires a ton of skill. At all. And the reason I want to challenge this is because if the gunplay is not what is paramount in a first-person shooter, then the movement has to be outstanding. Think Titanfall 2. But I'm actually not going to use Titanfall 2's movement to tear down this illusion that Destiny's movement takes a lot of skill. No, that wouldn't be fair. Comparing anything to Titanfall 2 is seldomly fair. No, I'm going to use classic Halo as my example, an argument that the Halo community has been dealing with for over a decade. So it's actually a pretty concise argument at this point. Now, when we compare movement options between classic Halo and Destiny, Halo obviously comes up really, really short. In Destiny, you have double jumps, you have in-air dashes, you have dodge rolls, you have a lot of, I pressed a button, and the game mechanically did something to move my character instances. And in some cases, many cases, they're very much a get-out-of-jail-free card. Now, for the sake of argument, I want to go ahead and clear something up. There's a huge difference between something being fun and something taking a tremendous amount of skill. Destiny's movement is fun, and while I'm by no means the best player who has ever played Destiny, I know my movement. It's why I'm able to circumnavigate the maps in such a way that allows me to get all those juicy, juicy, juicy shoulder charge kills that some of you just love to bitch about. And there is a difference between knowing how to move and executing it perfectly all the time. Frankly, I don't understand how people play video games at 100% all the time. That just sounds exhausting. Yeah, when you're trying to get better, sure. When something's on the line, sure. When you're just playing to play. I don't get it, but I digress. I'm already in a digression. The point that I am making is just because something doesn't take a lot of skill doesn't mean it's not fun to do. You're allowed to enjoy it. Watching TV doesn't take any skill whatsoever, and yet you can enjoy it. We all enjoy it. Everybody enjoys watching TV. Get it, got it good? Moving forward. Pun intended. So in Destiny, there's a lot of I press a button and the game automatically does something for me when it comes to movement. It sounds weird when I say it that way, but you'll get what I mean when I compare Destiny to classic Halo. In classic Halo, which I'm just going to call Halo from now on, you can walk, you can jump, you can crouch. That is the totality of your world when it comes to movement. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, which one takes more skill? Destiny, where you can basically jump to any ledge, and if you somehow miss, if you're contextually close enough, the game helps you out with clamber, or knowing that if I drop a grenade 2 feet from a wall and time my jump to when that grenade is going off, the grenade and its added momentum will allow my jump to jump even further, and then if I crouch jump in the air, I'll be able to jump longer while aiming for a virtually invisible texture on a wall to bounce off of so that you can chain those jumps together so that you can jump to the top of the wall while hoping you don't get killed because you're already weak from the grenade blast. Let me ask you another question, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Which game takes more skill? A game where you can outstrafe your opponent in a gunfight with various crouches, hops, butterfly jumps, and strong siding, or a game with so much bullet magnetism and aim assist that strafing is virtually non-existent. I'm thinking the movement suite where you're limited in your base functionality, but can utilize the mechanics in a clever way to create movement opportunities instead of, I just pressed X to do the thing. And none of this is to say that enhanced mobility can't create a skill gap. Look at Titanfall 2, or, and I'm probably even gonna get blasted for this, Halo 5. But for the sake of argument, I'll go ahead and amend my original statement. Destiny does in fact take skill. Now, this skill doesn't come from gunplay or movement. The skill for Destiny comes from which player has common sense and which one doesn't. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did. Subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous. But above all else, stay frosty.